This is Irontrader. Now the pit's closed here at 2:30, yeah, about, I don't know, 12 minutes ago. So as usual, we are going to review crude oil here and natural gas. At the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, market, ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have crude oil daily and your weekly chart. Now, crude today here was pretty much all over the board here, and you left a kind of like an indecision candle here. But what I don't like about it is you had a big red candle, and then we had a lower low. However, we finished pretty much right here at this 8 SMA here, which is pretty good, and we're closed above the key 200 SMA, which is very good also. Okay, so that's always looking very good. So today we had that low of 77.52. So basically what you do is just go right over to the left of the chart here until you can find, an area that, say, gives you the support. Okay, so 77.51, today 77.52. That was your area support. Now, again, if that is lost here, then you can come all the way here, 77.17, and then we have your 21 day at 77.15, and then we have your Hondo right there at 76.71. But overall here, it was a really good. It was actually a really good scalping day today. It just UCO here. It just was all over the place, which is actually what I like. Okay, so I scalped it twice here. Look, and it was really, really good trading. So now what you want to watch here is when you look at this. These key levels here, what you really want to do here is just to make sure that you hold that 8 SMA here, okay? That's going to be very, very critical. And then you have your 200-day here right below it. Let's see if I can dial that in. Yeah, right there, 77.87. Okay, so those are very, very critical levels on a closing basis. And then again, you have your 21 day at 77.15 and your 200 SMA here or 100 SMA here at 76.71. Now here on your weekly chart here, well, we look here, you have 76, and you close very, very nicely above. Your next level here, if it does go below, is you're basically your 76.69, and then you have your 21 right below that at 76.46. So there's a lot of good support here. But again, this is a weekly chart here. So realistically, for the week, you want to have it hold that 50-day, that 8 SMA here, and the 21-day. But that goes all the way till Friday there. Okay, so what we want to do here on the upside is just watch this key 8 SMA when the futures open here at 6 p.m. You want to watch that 78.26. That can be very, very crucial. Again, if you can get above that, then what we do is we just look to the left here. So basically, we just look for candles here that we can, kind of attack. So your upside is going to be 79, and then we want to look at 79.28, your 79.62. And then we want to look here today at this 80.41 and basically your 80.85. That is your breakout. But when that future's open, what we want to do is you always want to watch this candle, today's candle, that's 79.49. That was the high. The low was 77.52, and you close at 78.20, pretty much right around that 8 SMA here. See, so we got to see how that's going to shake out here once these the futures reopen here. Now remember, the API report will be out today at 4:30, so that might be a market mover. Now again, OPEC had a virtual meeting here over the weekend. Really, it was scheduled for, I believe, let me see here. It was scheduled for the 12th, but they had like a virtual meeting instead of in-person meeting. And basically, they're going to hold all the cuts for another 3 months. And then at the end of 24, Russia now is going to cut another 470,000 barrels per day. Now, again, that's what they say. We got to actually see if that's what they actually do. Okay. So, and another thing is, too, is a lot of these producers here, like that are in OPEC. Now, Saudi Arabia is holding, but we got to see if the rest of them, can actually, commit to what they're actually saying here. Okay, so they want to get that price right around that $80 mark, if not higher. That's basically what they want to do. So realistically, here again, you just want to watch this 8 SMA here. That's going to be very, very crucial. And then we have your 200-day at the 77.87, and then we have your key 21-day 77.15, and your Hundo right there at 76.71. Now again, If this happens to sell off and it goes all the way like what we have here kind of situation, then what you want to do is just watch the bottom of this candle, 75.84, and then here to 75.52. That was that nice key double bottom situation that got you started here. Okay, so and then right below it, what we have here is you have your 75.18 is your 50 SMA here. So, but again, your chart here is still very, very bullish. This is really not that big of a deal because we have a a low, higher low, higher low, higher low. You can come all the way down to this 50-day, and you're still going to have a set of higher lows. Your rounded bottom still intact. Now, you really didn't have that breakout. Now, this candle on Friday was looking like that was going to be a really good breakout, but when you look at the candle, it was more of a topping tail candle. See, it wasn't a clean candle now. So when we look to the left of the chart here, and we see this candle that came on the way down, you basically, the high was 81.05 and then your low was 77.09. So you had really about a 4-point spread. But when you look at this candle, see, it closed right there, okay, right on the bottom. That was just a big ass red candle and closed right on the bottom. This here was like a topping tail kind of a candle situation like we had here where it ran up here. It was still green, but again, it's still you just haven't had that really clean breakout here of this 79.81 mark. Is what you really need to do to go higher. So again, if this could just turn around and rally up and break above that 80.85, then you have some really nice targets going on here where you can take her up to 81 here, 05. We have 82.24, and then we can go up to 82.83, and then you have a nice level right there of 83.60. Okay, bring it out, and then just bring those price channels right across, going all the way on up here. But right now, we just don't have that situation where that's where we're going to blast off here. So realistically, watch that 8 SMA here, very, very key. That 200-day, very, very key. And then I say if that's lost, we have your 21 and your 100 SMA here. Now, here on your RSI here, well, it just sideways acting. That doesn't really mean anything going on right here. There's no divergence. There's no nothing. Your green here is still above your red, so it has momentum, but it doesn't, it's not the full blow like we have going on right over here. Now, we have still your MACD here on your weekly. That's still looking very, very bullish, and your RSI is also bullish. But again, by Friday, you really need to hold that 50-day, that 8-day, and that 21-day. If you don't, then this could go right down here to that 75.18 level very, very easily. Okay, so we got to see here, but it could be eventually it's going to break out. You're going to have that seasonality here going very, very soon. Now, over the weekend, I made a video on tips and tricks. And what I also did is, once you get halfway into the video, I put seasonality charts on there. So you have the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ. Okay, so when you look at what the market is selling off here, all you have to do is look at that seasonality chart. And this is not uncommon for the month of March. This is pretty much reality here. Okay, so you don't need somebody to tell you that. Just look at the seasonality charts, or you can go to equity.com, equityclock.com, I should say, and you can punch up all the seasonality charts there yourself very, very easy. Now, crude oil is coming into the seasonality here now, where you can be building this up here towards Memorial Day and 4th of July, summer driving, and Labor Day, and then hurricane season all the way to the end of September. Okay, so always remember that as far as the crude oil, and natural gas is starting to come in its own here now, too, on the way up. Okay, so just remember that. But just look at the charts. Just all you do is go onto my site there, look at the playlist, look at the video of tips and tricks. It's all right there for you. Just click it on, and you can watch your seasonality charts on oil and natural gas and all the indexes. So when you see the Dow selling off today at 440 points and Nasdaq's down 316, it's really no big deal. Okay, it's not like we don't know this. If you just look at the charts, and now remember, those seasonalities are over a 20-year period, so that gives you a good balance. Okay, over a 20-year. Okay, let's take a look here at natural gas. Okay, here we have the daily chart of natural gas. Now, natural gas didn't really look like a whole lot, going into the it was just kind of like standing there. All of a sudden, it just started to squirt right up here really nicely. So I did another scalp on the UNG there. So I had 2 scalps there today, one for 25 cents here, and then I had one here for, what did I get out of that? I got 50 cents on that. So 75 cents on the UNG today, but that's 5,000 shares, so that wasn't too bad. But I didn't think I was going to get that second trade until I'm watching it. And then all of a sudden, it just decided that, it's going to move here. So we'll take a look at a chart here, and we'll see what it did today. So realistically here, let's take a look here at the highs first. So today you scored it all the way up to 2.0. That was very, very good. You had this key resistance level here sitting at what do we have here? 1.993. So you're right into that level. Next level is going to be that 204, and then we have 210, and then we have that 212, which is basically your price channel. Now, again, if we can get above that, then we want to look to the top of this candle. That's at 2.16. And then right above there, we have this key level here at 2.276. That is going to be your target. There is resistance here at 2.23, you know what I'm saying? And then bottom line, I looked at this candle, 2.27. Lines up very, very nice there with that 50 SMA. And then again, if you can work yourself up here, we want to look to the bottom of that candle. You're looking at 2.42. But we don't worry about that right now. What we do is just take one day at a time. But when you look at this chart here, and you can see this 8-day here rolling over, now the 8-day crossed above the 21-day. That's always very bullish. Now, even though we had that green candle, we had just had a couple red. Yesterday, it popped up nicely. That gave you kind of a first sign here, where today we made a little bit higher high than what we had yesterday. Yesterday's high was 1.98, and then today we had flat 2.00. So you went up just a little bit high. So this might be just a creeper going right up to that 212 area. But we'll look at it here on a weekly and a monthly chart, because there's an 8-day on there. I want you to see that's going to become very, very big resistance. So on the downside here, what you want to do obviously is just watch today's low. That's 1.89, and then we want to watch yesterday's low. That's 1.87. If that's lost, here we are, 1.80, and then we have your key level here at 1.79. Now, when the futures open here at 6 p.m., you'll notice that this 8-day here will be higher. Even though you're crossed above the 21-day, which is bullish, it will be higher, okay? So, again, if that is lost, we can follow the candles down. You have 1.73, 1.71, 1.66 here, 1.63, 1.59, 1.58, and there's your big retest. But realistically, right now, I just think you're going to be holding these key levels of support if it sells down at that pretty much 8.1 there, and then your 1.79 on your 21 SMA. So you're looking really good here on your RSI. This is looking really good, and you're looking very, very bullish. You can see the momentum going here on your MACD, your green above your red, looking very, very nice here. Okay, so realistically here, this is just look like it's not going to be a big slam up here. It just looks like you're going to be just creeping all the way up here until we can tag that 2.12. Okay, let's look at a weekly and a monthly. Okay, here we have your weekly. Now this is the very, very key, and then bottom line, there's your monthly. Okay, so what we had here, you had that 1.52. So I always pointed this out here when we were way up here, that if it does sell off and you break this trend line here, okay, that price channel, that's 1.946. That's very, very key. Okay, so now we're back above it. Now, as I say, we're back into the game again. Okay, we're above that price channel. So I said way up here, if it sells off here, we just follow these candles here all the way down. So basically you had 1.85, 1.79, and every day she would just creep down just a little bit, 1.64. And then what we had here is right there, you had 1.60. And then I was always pointing out this candle right here, 1.521. Okay, that was very, very crucial, because that was pretty much the last until you hit the retest. So when you look at 1.521 here, where to go? 1.522. Okay, so right there is exactly why you want to just trade the charts. Look to the left. Again, if that was lost, then you had your target here of 1.44. But now I like this here, because now you're back in the game here again, so you got to have a good upside. But when you look at this weekly chart, see this 8 SMA here? See, that's sitting at 2.20. Okay, so you got as high as 2.0 today. But see, you really need to get above that, because that is strong resistance now here for the natural gas. If you can get above that, then I say that you follow these candles right back up. There's that 2.127. There's that 2.168. There's your gap, okay? So that's what you always want to look for here, but it's all going to be based on if you can get above this key 2.2, that 8 SMA. If you can, then we can start ratcheting up, and then we can start hitting these SMAs here, and maybe even go up to the monthly SMA here at 2.56. But this is going to be key. You need to close above. Now, again, we got to see where it is, if it can come back down again, or is it going to pop right above. Now, your RSI, plenty of room here. Your MACD looks like it wants to curl up and above. This MACD here is still not working, but if we can start getting above here and keep on climbing up, then you'll notice that green will be above that red, and then she might have a nice takeoff here like we had right here. Okay, let's take a look here on the hourly and the 4. Okay, here's your hourly chart here. And then what do we have here? See that big ass green candle? Okay, so you had a nice pop on the bottom here. So when you're watching it, I'm going to show you another set of charts after this. You had 1.91, and then it just started rambling right on up here. But you notice it just couldn't hold this key level here. That's at 1.989. It just couldn't hold that. Now you're back down here. You're sitting at 1.96. Okay, so always look at this as the same thing as we had when we had that EIA report there last week. See this candle right here? See that? Boom, she spikes right on up, and then she comes right down. When you start seeing going up here, and it can't hold that candle on the left-hand side, which was basically 1.90, that's when you just got to dump your position out, and then we can always rebuy it again. Same way here. Is it just a really good scalp up? And then, take your money, put it in your pocket, and then we got to see where we can go again. So when we look here on their 4-hour chart, looking at this price channel, that's at 1.98, and this is the key level right here. See that right there? There's your 200-day coming right on right down here. It just couldn't pop through that. Now again, if it can close above that, then we can just start ratcheting all the way up. So let's look at another set of charts here. Okay, so if you're scalping, which is basically day trading, okay, you want to use here. This is a tick chart, and then you have a 1 minute, a 5 minute, and a 15 minutes. So it depends on how fast you go. I'm saying trade wise, you can slow the trade down by going here. But then see where this ran right on up here. So you can see here on a 1 minute chart, once you start breaking above, she just started just hiking right on up here until you get to a point. But then what you have to do is you have to look at multi-charts. That's why, like in my office, I got 2 PCs and I got 10 screens. So all the charts that I show you, all these are up at one shot. Okay, so that's way it makes it very, very easy, because all I got to do is look up. Okay, I get all my stuff set up here for your trades, and you say, okay, if it pops right up here, I'm going to get in and then I'm going to get out, because this is a big rally. But when you look on that weekly and you say, wait a minute here, that 8 SMA here is sitting at basically 2.2. Is it going to rally up to that, which it usually does, and then you pull back, and that's what it did. So now you have a pullback, but now what I like about this is, see, it's just a nice, good uptrend, okay? Lower left to the upper right. Very, very good. So now you just have to watch that price channel at 1.96. If it breaks up here, then we can just start following these candles until we get a nice retest, okay? So if you want to say, I want to slow the trade down a little bit, you can go with the 5 minute, see it doesn't look as violent, you know what I'm saying? And then when you look at like the 15 minute, you can see a nice series of higher lows here. Okay, very, very nice. And then when she pops up, she pops right on up here. So again, if you're scalp trading, or if you're, which is basically day trading, just try these charts here on different time frames. That might work out pretty good for you. Okay, that's what I got for you on the crude and natural gas here. Remember, the API report will be out on crude today at 4:30, and then the EIA report on crude will be out tomorrow morning at 10:30. I'll be back tomorrow before 8 o'clock in the morning, and we will do this all over again. All right, thanks for watching.